What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news for you concerning Anthony Joshua. As you guys know, if you didn't know, Anthony Joshua is in the United States of America. He's in the USA chilling, and he's been doing a lot of big things, a lot of things that I haven't seen a lot of fighters do. Um, he was on the Conan O'Brien show last night, and that went really well. The audience really took to him. They gelled with him. And you could tell he's a likable guy. He's charismatic. He's one of those dudes I think you would want to hang around versus um, like a typical boxer, right? So, he's marketed well. And then you ask yourself this, you got a guy like Anthony Joshua, and he's on shows, and then we have an American champion here. Deontay Wilder's is the American champion because he's American. He's never been on a show like that. You know what I mean? And he hasn't made that type of impact to the sport, or went outside that sport, to amplify the sport and what he does. Anthony Joshua was doing exactly that. You know, um, my expectation is because of promotion. It's how you promote a guy, but then most importantly is how that guy promotes himself. They look at him like a new wave Muhammad Ali. And that makes sense because Anthony Joshua looks up to Muhammad Ali a lot. I know a lot of people look up to Muhammad Ali. He's an icon. You know what I mean? He's a public figure. He's a lot of things. A father, a fighter. He's a lot of things. But Anthony Joshua, he's also Muslim. A lot of people don't know that, but so was Muhammad Ali. You know, but one thing about Muhammad Ali, when he couldn't fight for those years, those 3 to 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, he was still in the spotlight. Because he was still showing that, hey, I am a force to be reckoned with. You know, um, I am a guy that people need to see. He was always somewhere to be seen, and I don't even really think it was somewhere to be seen. I think wherever he was, people gravitated to, and then that's the effect that Anthony Joshua was getting, especially by being on Conan O'Brien, showing up at NBA games. You know what I mean? It's big stuff. It's really big stuff, and it's sad that we have an American fighter over here that doesn't do those same things, and that's the problem. I understand certain fighters want to be marketed as the villain, but that's not always the best way. Because I don't think Deontay Wilder is just like a villain. I mean, he says some things to make you scratch your head sometimes, like I want to bag bodies and stuff like that. You wouldn't hear AJ saying that type of stuff. You know what I mean? But I think sometimes Wilder tries too hard to be something that I don't think that he really is. You know what I mean? I don't think I want to bag a body, and I don't think that. You know what I mean? Because you don't know, unless he's, I mean, hey, well, here's to say, I don't know if he ever killed someone, because you don't want to say, oh, I want to kill somebody. But if you go to the point of actually killing that person, then that all lies and rests on you, all the responsibility, all the everything that entails with killing a person. That's now your burden, right? So I don't know if he really meant that or whatever, but I mean, but again, those are things you just don't say, you know? Whereas Anthony Joshua wants unity and stuff like that, and talks about, going to people's children's and being role models and, examples for them, all over the place because the guy travels. You know what I'm saying? So um, I think it's big. I think it's big for the sport of boxing too. You look at it, when he fought Klitschko, his credibility, everything, his fame, everything, it just skyrocketed. Just because Klitschko was that guy that had the belts, him and his brother, for a very long time. Yeah, he had a few losses, but I mean, him and his brother reigned for a long time, to the point where in America, the heavyweight division, they just turned the light out in that division because it belonged to the Klitschko's that long. You know what I mean? Before that was Lennox Lewis. right? And then before that was Tyson and Holyfield, and on down the trough. So he brings a spotlight back on the heavyweight division simply because he knocked out Vladimir. You know what I mean? So he took that crown. Klitschko gave him that torch, but he gave him the opportunity to fight for that torch. So now he has it and he's letting it shine. You know what I mean? That's what you're dealing with. And you ask yourself this, speaking of Lewis, right? When did you see Lewis this popular in America? Or any fighter, especially a UK fighter, this popular in America that has this type of impact in America. When have you seen that? You know what I mean? Because I haven't saw that. I've never saw that. This is the first time that you've saw a guy, coming from the UK that has this type of impact on America. You know what I mean? So it's like a British invasion, definitely. So it's big things. You know what I mean? Lennox Lewis, he was like that guy that was really good, but nobody liked. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like it. Lennox Lewis, and speaking of Lennox Lewis, he told Anthony Joshua that you need to fight outside the UK. I don't think that Anthony Joshua would disagree with him, but I think that he wants Anthony Joshua to follow his same steps. Anthony Joshua doesn't need to, because Lennox Lewis, he was probably one of the best boxers, in the last 20 years, but he was not the most popular. Let's face it, he wasn't. He wasn't that guy that everyone talked about. Lennox Lewis, big up. He was not that dude. He beat the brakes off of Holyfield. Look, people loved Holyfield that much being an American champion, they called it a draw, even though we know that was not a draw. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that shows you how much credibility he have in America. Unlike Joshua's doing the right things. People are talking about Joshua. Hey, did you see the Joshua Klitschko fight? You know what I mean? Oh, man, you hear about this other fight coming up. That guy, I got friends that are not boxing fans that tell me about the fight they saw of Klitschko. Like close friends of mine, and they're UFC fans. They go all the UFC fights or whatever, and they don't watch boxing a lot because they think boxing is boring, right? But this particular fight, people were really receptive to, and that shows a lot. So when you can get people that are not boxing fans to be interested in boxing, to turn a non-boxing fan into a casual boxing fan, you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But for Wilder, it just shows you who has the most impact and why. And certain things go a certain ways. Don't ask why this happened, because when someone has the public eye, when they have the impact of the people, this is what you have. And we're seeing it unfold in front of our eyes. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So yeah, he's a likable guy, lovable guy, and he's taken America by storm. And it's a good thing, for all you Deontay Wilder fans or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to hear flack, so what? Come with it, because it's true. You know what I mean? So tell me something that I haven't said that wasn't true. Don't worry, I'll wait. Leave them below. Of course, please subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about this particular topic. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.